Hi, this is Team Controllers. We are working on a retractable pen. We are in Mechanical Design, Fall 2017. Team members are Acabandi, Castillo, Garcia, Lucero, and Perez. For this project, we will be talking about the different components that make up our device, the function they carry out, their applications and material properties, and applications for push button, cam body, ink cartridge, the spring, lower and upper barrel. In this project, we decided to work on a retractable pen. This design is composed of 6 parts that are connected with one another. They are the push button, cam body, ink cartridge, spring, lower and upper barrel. The outcomes of this project are free body diagram of the 5 interconnected parts and the forces that are transmitted through each part. A pen is a writing instrument used to apply ink to a surface, usually paper, for writing or drawing. A pack of 4 of retractable pens would cost you $2.97 at any retail store. The materials for a retractable pen will be polystyrene, thermoplastic, elastomers, which will be the grip, ink, and brass on the tip. Function of the push button would be push and release, pen tip is out, push and release again to retract the ink cartridge. The jagged edges at the very end come into contact with cam body to either force the ink cartridge pen tip in or out. The guides are molded into the upper barrel. The notches on the push button slide up and down these guides. Materials for the push button will be polystyrene, will be one unknown force of the thumb pushing down on the push button, another unknown force in the compression of the spring. When the push button is pressed, the cam body aids in the function of the pen by positioning the end of the ink cartridge in a spot where the writing end is barely outside the lower barrel. Cam body is also made out of polystyrene. It has 2 unknown forces, one force from push button acting on the cam, second force from ink cartridge acting on the cam as a reaction. The pen draws ink from the reservoir through the feed to the tip. Finally, the pen deposits ink onto the paper via a combination of gravity and force applied by the user. The materials used for ink include color pigment and 2 other conventional additives. And the materials for the tip would be brass. Known forces, spring constant would be 0.278 Newton per millimeters. Unknown forces are applied on the pen. Spring gets compressed and produces resistance against the button press. When pushing on the push button, the spring is under compression, which leaves us with 2 unknowns on the x-axis. These will be the dimensions for the spring. The diameter of the spring is 0.075 millimeters. Number of active coils will be 18. The function of the lower barrel is to keep an equilibrium on the forces, but it also works as a support for both the spring and the ink cartridge. The materials on the lower barrel will be polystyrene, thermoplastic elastomer on the grip, and leaves us with 2 unknown forces on the x-axis also, one pushing on top and the other force applied from the ground that is working against. The guides are molded to the upper barrel. The guides only allow the nudges on the push button to slide up and down. The upper barrel is made out of polystyrene. There is 1 unknown force in the x-axis with slight friction from the push button's 8 notches sliding up and down the upper barrel. For our conclusion, we encountered some problems throughout the course of this project. The main problem we faced was obtaining the force of the retractable pen, since we thought of leaving it as an unknown. As a result, for this project we identified one force transmitted through the entire body. The forces and moments were easily to identify since we were able to realize the direction of the force.